Arnhem Land is a vast, unspoiled wilderness in the northeast corner of the Northern Territory. The fishing here is as good as you'll find anywhere in the world. And tucked away near the Glyde River, on the pristine Arnhem Land coastline, 350k northeast of Darwin, is one of the Northern Territory's best kept secrets, Dhipirri Fishing Lodge. Remote and wild, Dhipirri is what most anglers' dreams are made of. The blue water fishing here is exceptional, but that's not even what it's well known for. It's renowned for its barramundi. Glyde River barra are extra large, and there's plenty of them.
And that's why they are the quintessential Australian sports fish. You'll see paintings of them on the rock walls of Indigenous art, thousands of years old. They've been here forever, and they're here to be enjoyed by us. They're great tucker. They live in beautiful environments and protected waters, so you're not out at sea bobbing around. Look at that. And yeah, there's a lot to like about the barramundi. And the Northern Territory is the top place for them. And even better if you can get to somewhere like Dhipirri. You're basically taking a step back in time to catch this magnificent Aussie fish. Oh, that beautiful fish there, you know. Big, powerful tail, designed for short bursts of speed. That big ambush mouth there. They can just gulp stuff in and inhale their prey. The hard scales gives him a lot of armour against the little bitey fish out there, and even bigger fish as well. You see scars on them, they recover well. Just a beautiful fish, and you can see how they just motor along like that, and then eyes on the top of their head when they want something. Just come up and boom, like that. Let's get this one back.
When you're not chasing big barra at Dhipirri, there's plenty of respectable ocean fish just waiting to take your hook.
The thing here is when the weather's good, they stuck out a couple of miles, and it's just a change of scenery from the barra fishing, and there's a lot more fish. It's less finesse, more fish, a lot of fun. That just gives you that different variety to experience when you're up here. And again, you don't have to travel far because Dhipirri's the only lodge within the area. There's another school of fish from around there. There's a beautiful finger mark. Hey, look at that. And a little jig para. These finger mark or golden snapper, common through the Northern Territory, but of course when you come to remote lodge, they just get bigger and more prolific. Fantastic table fish. These fish grow up in the warm water, and a lot of them have really firm flesh that tastes great, and it's all part of the experience up here to get to try the different reef species on offer.
Seafood connoisseurs will love the delicious reef fish on offer, but these big fish also put up a great fight.
You've got a good fish on like this, little short, sharp ones can work really good. Again, you don't want to drop the rod so quick or wind so slow that the bend comes out the rod. That means you've lost tension and the fish can get away. Looks like a really nice fish, whatever it is. There we go. Be every bit of 55, 60 centimetres. They've got sharp teeth, so you can't grab them in the mouth like normal fish. They'll chomp down on you. Beautiful finger mark or golden snapper. We've got our bag limit, so we're going to move on because if we catch them from here on, you know, they're not a catch and release species like the barra. They come from deeper water in this scenario, so this is all about getting a feed and leaving more for next time.
Dhipirri Fishing Lodge is so remote that the only way you can get there is by small plane. The flight from Darwin to Dhipirri is half the fun. Viewing the ancient landforms, billabongs and rivers from above is both scenic and spectacular. Of course, Dhipirri has its own airstrip, oozing with top-end charm. We flew in and out of Dhipirri with Air Frontier, who have flown to the NT's most remote locations for decades, providing a gateway to Arnhem Land and Australia's exotic Northern Islands with exceptional safety and service. Manager of Operations Richard Hunt grew up in this family business, and though he's flown all over the NT, he's never fished at Dhipirri. Until now, that is.
All right, here we go, mate. I tell you what, there's great fishing right across the NT, but this has got to take the cake, Richard.
Absolutely.
This is what it's all about. 200 metres from shore, you can see the boat ramp, right? Another boat there hooked up, and we're on a big fish, mate. How you feeling there?
Oh, pretty good. This is the first fish today.
Look at it, big silver trevally ripping through there.
Big, handsome fella.
Yeah, great fight, calm water in minutes.
It did not take long.
Yeah, that hook's just fallen out, mate. You've done well. But look at that. First fish in Dhipirri. How you feeling, mate?
Pretty good. What a beautiful fish.
Oh, yeah, great fight. Mate, I'll get this guy back and we'll get those lures back in. Swim. He wants to go.
With a proven record of safety, service and reliability, Air Frontier are the longest-running air charter company in the Northern Territory.
Richard, Air Frontier, you specialise in getting people to remote places that you can't just book online on a normal airline. Tell me a bit about it, mate.
Absolutely, we do. A lot of remote places, anywhere with an airstrip, really. In fact, some of our airstrips are mud flats.
Yeah, it's crazy. And like, Dhipirri's an awesome spot. It's magnificent.
Really nice airstrip, beautiful place, fantastic fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't beat it.
What sort of other places did you fly up here?
We're based in 3 of them remote communities.
Mm-hmm.
Based in Maningrida, Govan, Groot. So, again, anywhere where there's an airstrip.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we're based around the area, so we specialise in, passenger transport, just taxi service, essentially.
Yeah. This is the trip of a lifetime, people. So to be able to call and speak to someone like you, third generation, that can, that can tell you everything you need to know to get to that spot and rest you at ease and make sure you know everything you need to know to fly. That's a pretty cool service you offer. You're obviously very proud and happy to do it, right?
Absolutely. We've got a lot of experience in it.
Yeah.
And we like to make it easy for people.
And you do.
So they can get out here and enjoy the fishing.
There are lots of species of trevally in these waters, but trevally aren't the only speedsters that will find your hook.
Just alive with fish here at the moment, with bait pushing in and turtles and manta rays from the past, 100 metres from the shore, hiding under the boat. Beautiful golden trevally just sitting off the back of that manta ray. The thing about goldens is they don't have sharp tails on them like a lot of the trevally do. Golden trevally there, they've got nice soft lips on them, easy to hold, they hook up easy, and no sharp flukes on the tail, or not as sharp as your average trevally. That's the atomic reel baits in the mouth there, beautiful lure for up here. You're going to catch fish like this, all day long up here, it's fantastic.
Crocodiles are part of the Dhipirri experience. They're always top of mind. As croc populations continue to grow and human activity increases in well-known croc habitats, crocodile attacks will happen, as Dhipirri fishing guide Sean Famara knows all too well.
I'm standing on the gunnels, pointing to the snag to the boys just cast into there, and all of a sudden, bang, this thing just came up out of nowhere from behind me. Grabbed my leg, it was like a block of concrete hitting you. We were underwater, having a bit of a roll around and that sort of thing. I looked down, I could see him hanging off my leg, and I tried to put my left hand down and open his jaws where the tooth went through here, came out the top. That was the end of his snout, was here, okay? And one of the bottom teeth went into that side. That was the top of his snout, and his bottom jaw was out here. There was a tooth hanging about where my finger was here, and that's where I pushed down like that to try and get him off. And he let go. As he let go, I pushed him off and then kicked him with my left leg. And he's turned, and we both came up to the surface, looking at each other, probably about 1.5 meters, 2 meters apart. A couple of strokes, and I was there, and they pulled me straight onto the boat. Around 3.7 meters. Any bigger, I don't think I'd be here, that's for sure. It's a pretty scary feeling. You're looking eye to eye, especially if he's already had you and you know that he's going to come back. I didn't really think it was that bad, but yeah, it was.
Lucky to be alive, Sean is definitely a no-worries kind of guy. which is typical in the territory. Crocs are so prevalent in the region that a group of islands close to Dhipirri is called the Crocodile Islands. But they don't look sinister at all. On the contrary, they're stunning.
This is quite the adventure. We've worked our way through a maze of islands known as the Crocodile Island Group up to a spot here, and it's another example of how you can fish for big fish in sheltered waters in the Northern Territory, particularly if you go to a remote lodge like Dhipirri. Darren, it's a beautiful morning, out of the breeze here. What's the strategy along this bank, mate?
Well, the good thing about coming over these islands is there's a lot of flats fishing, a lot of sight fishing. There's plenty of barra, threadfin salmon, mud crabs over here galore.
Yeah.
So it's a good option.
Yo! That's pretty cool. You actually see into the water and see where the snags are and the barra milling around there. And the beautiful saltwater barramundi. And look at the environment. Yo! It's beautiful. Clear salt water. It's amazing the variety that's on offer here. Yo! And that's what it's about, you know? 60 centimetre fish jumping in dead flat water, 20 metres from the land. Definitely over legal size, fantastic. All right. He doesn't want to give up. Oh, I gave up. He's off. Looks like there'll be more though.
It may be a nice looking spot, but it's dog eat dog out there.
Hang on, I've got to be quick here. Whoop.
Don't break your rod.
You've got to be quick with everything here. We're just cruising along. Darren's got so many good spots to work with, and everything wants to eat everything up here. I'm just going to lift this guy in quickly. Another beautiful barramundi, and it's just on the shallow run and slim twitcher there from Atomic. But look at that guy there. Actually, looks like something's had a grab of him in the past. See that injury? About halfway down the body there. But how's the colours on the saltwater ones, you know? And it can get bluer and clearer than this again, but it's just another example of the magnificent environments you can explore and catch fish. And while we're doing this, we're seeing crocodiles and sharks and turtles and sea life, and it's just a wonder world of nature.
And how remiss of me not to mention mud crabs in that wonder world of nature. The muddies up here are magnificent.
Come in.
Oh, look at that! Look at him. Oh, look at the dents he's putting in there.
Brand new gaff too.
Look at the dents he's put in the gaff. Holy dooly. Well, you've seen Darren from Dhipirri's special mud crab gaffing technique. he's going for your TV set. Pick him up there, mate. There you go. Well, I've never seen it done that way before. We're always learning new things. You see a few that size?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sort of average, I suppose.
Wow.
Some big fellas, Eddie.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. All right. Here's the mud crab. See what he did to the gaff? I'm staying clear of them.
Yeah.
Look at the bang bang. Their jaws are actually hydraulic, so they get tighter and tighter. Great eating, but steer clear of those jaws.
At the end of every week, Dhipirri guides are tasked with bringing home a swag of mud crabs for the customers to eat in their last supper at Dhipirri. It's a mud crab feast like no other, bathed in a magic Dhipirri sunset.
So the boys go out every day, they'll bring back barra, golden snapper, mud crab, everything fresh every day. The best flavours as possible, keep it simple so everyone gets the flavour of Arnhem Land.
Dhipirri Fishing Lodge is a true bucket list experience that lives up to expectations. Aside from the incredible barramundi and bluewater fishing and the stunning Arnhem Land coastal wilderness, Dhipirri offers experienced and intuitive guides, comfortable boats fitted out with the latest fishing technology, a safe custom boat ramp, more lures than you could count, comfortable air-conditioned rooms, healthy chef-cooked meals, and friendly and supportive staff. The question has to be asked, Could this be the best barramundi fishing lodge in the country?
Here he is. Wow. The sheer numbers of barra just coming in with the tide. They're all big. I've never seen anything like it, but this is crazy, the amount of barra up here in the NT. And you know what? It shows why when you're on the bank and you're fishing, all of a sudden all the rods go off. And speaking of bank, you can catch the $1 million fish. Like from the bank, you can bring your tinny up, you can hire a guide right across the territory and be in the chance of winning. And not only a fantastic experience, but you never know, 10 grand or $1 million. But you've got to be registered, right? And registration's free. If you're over 18, you're eligible for the prizes, and you know what? You don't even have to fish to win a prize. There's merch packs like these beautiful sun shirts, Aussie-made ones, really comfortable up here. All sorts of reasons for registering. Make sure you mention Fishing Australia when you register, but otherwise, just make sure you register. And you'll get information from tourism, and they've got free booking agents that can help you plan the trip of a lifetime. So get on that website and get up here and catch one of these. Got him. All right, you beauty. Just another fish of a lifetime up here in the NT. Get up here, boy. Yeah, wow. I don't think I need to say much more. We've been lucky enough to chase giant barramundi for over 25 years now, and look, we've caught a lot of big impoundment fish, but there's something about wild barramundi. They have to battle those big tides. They, in a wild environment, got crocs chasing them, sharks, so they just fit a stronger, wilder fish. And the experience of being out in the wild, you know, you're so much more around you. And look, the Northern Territory is the mecca for barra fishing, but yeah, I mean, you can day trip around Darwin, but if you really want an adventure, you come out somewhere here like Dhipirri, yeah, it's the pick of the crop.
At Dhipirri, it's just one big fish after another.
Oh, he's on this side of the boat, mate. That was lucky.
I felt him bounce off the Minkota.
Yeah.
Under the boat.
They're such an exciting fish, you know, standing here and seeing that animal come out the water and shake its head. Yeah. The big ones have a really good sort of way of getting off, sometimes in ways we don't even know. So that's a beautiful fish, mate.
Yeah, he's not bad. When you look at his forehead, he's taken the bark off his forehead under the boat.
Yeah, right.
That's fresh.
There she goes.
Some of us have lifelong dreams of that one big fishing trip that will provide a lifetime of memories. Dhipirri is that fishing trip. Dhipirri offers experienced anglers and novices alike the chance to catch genuinely big fish in a truly wild environment, all while staying in a safe and comfortable lodge with like-minded anglers whose inflated fishing stories are thrown around like lures.
You had a good time, lads?
Fantastic.
Grouse. Victoria, neighbour.
It's sensational, mate. Unbelievable. It's pristine waters, just picturesque, mate. Being able to come in and catch some barra, head outside and, you know, get some nice, you know, blue water fish, just amazing, sensational. Seeing the crocs, the wildlife, spectacular.
Lots of variety, heaps of species, and everything fights hard. Awesome trip.
To be in complete wilderness away from absolutely everybody. Unfished waters almost.
Guides were great, yeah. You're just hooking up big barra.
Yeah, big
the others, great.
Overall rating of Dhipirri, mate?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Yeah, absolutely.
Couldn't agree.
Yeah, fantastic.
Just a lifetime trip for me.
Yeah.
You know, grew up watching Malcolm Douglas, you know, videos and all that sort of stuff. And I said one day I'm going to get up here, and I did it. So, grouse.
And it doesn't matter what age you are, Dhipirri has adventure for the young and the young at heart.
It's a great location. There's 3 good rivers. The guides are excellent. They know where the fish are, they know how to catch fish, and they know how to get you to catch fish. That's got to be the #1 game in this game.
Rest assured, the experienced fishing guides at Dhipirri will put you onto the fish of your dreams.
Well, 1 or 2 metre-ish. I've been fishing for 30 years. I cracked 2 metre-ish. I reckon I lost another 2. I got one in the 90s, one in the 80s, and to me that's pretty special.
The fishing's fantastic, the guides are great. It's just, you just got to come back here every year. I've been to quite a few other places, but this tops it.
You come here and you catch big barra and you do it year after year. Been here 5 times, and if you want to change, you can go up the road and catch dewies, coral trout, nanagai, queenies, Spanish mackerel, you name it, you can catch it. And the crowd here look after it. Everything is top notch.